Hey everybody, this is Javi, and you are watching the Bowtie Psychic here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everything that you're doing. Um, I just appreciate your energy. I'm actually doing a reading for Gemini, with my fellow Geminis. It's my sun sign, it is also my Venus sign. And so we have three cards actually. If you don't resonate with this reading in any way, shape, or form, that's fine. But if you do, by all means, let me know in the comments. If you are wanting a more in-depth reading after watching this, you can hit me up at bowtiepsychic@gmail.com. I'm getting my website together, so when I have that together, you'll be able to make appointments yourself, and I would get them via a calendar. So I'm just gonna set it up and be all techie like that. But until then, you can just email me. I have three cards here for Gemini, and I am I'm getting some of the same cards. Um, I'm getting some of the same cards here, and so what I got for Gemini um, is the seven of air, and so we got the same card for another sign. But what I'm getting here is that a lot of us Gemini's, I'm just getting let our light shine, let our light shine, let our energy be known. A lot of us are not letting our energies and our intellect be known, even though we're known for being communicative, communicative, or the communicative. Either way, we're known for being talkative. We're known for being talkative and being very knowledgeable. We're also known for sharing our knowledge with people. But what's happening, at least during the Taurus season, is that we're literally like letting our light dim a little, and this is not the time to do that, especially which we have so much to share. This is also for not just like Gemini's, as far as those who do not practice any sort of spiritual work, but this is definitely for us as well. Like I'm just getting for the most part, I'm getting light workers and people who do magic, born under the Gemini sign, not to let anyone um, tell you to sit down. Don't let anyone to tell you. Don't let anyone tell you that you don't know anything, that you cannot do anything. Let your words be known, and this is a message. This is a message for me as well. Um, we are being told in so many ways that we are we are pretty much destined to let our intellect and to let our knowledge be known by people. This is a time, with it being Pluto at retrograde. Um, I'm also being told that we are to question why we are letting people dim our light and tell us to sit down and be quiet, especially since we have so much to share with the world, in regards to information. So this is actually the time for us to do the complete opposite of what we're told and let everyone know. Do a lot of Let everyone know. I'm getting do more studying, do more reading, do more writing, and whatever whatever knowledge we accumulate, to share it with people and to uh, not to let it be locked inside of us. You know what I mean? Basically, let the world know what we have learned. And I'm also getting King of Air. Um, Geminis are air signs, and so we are known for our intellect, but we are also known for being long-winded. And the King of Air is someone who is not only very intellectual, but they're very much a master of knowledge. They are a master of their thoughts, and so this is the time, Gemini, to master our thoughts. We are already the masters, of knowledge. We're known for our knowledge, but this is also the time for us to not care about what people think about us, because what's happening is that that's another reason why we are not letting our energies be known for the most part. because during the Taurus season, we're being told to, stay grounded and to stay firm in our identity. That's what I'm getting, for Taurus season, to stand firm and to be clear about our intentions and to be clear about our actions and to be clear about our intentions. We are basically being told that we are not to be moved, we are not to be swayed by other people's opinions, because as spiritual people, because Geminis are very knowledgeable in spirituality as well. Um, I I am a moon in Pisces, so in addition to being an air sign, I'm a water sign is also known for psychic ability in being learned and being very fascinated and being very yeah, just being very fascinated by or with the supernatural and the paranormal. And so this is actually a time for a lot of spiritual people to stand firm in their beliefs, is what I'm getting. This is the time for Geminis, especially those who believe in psychic ability and being in their basically being called to do some spiritual work. We're basically being told to stand firm in our convictions. Um, and one way to do that is to be knowledgeable and to have that knowledge. Because you're going to be around people all day long telling us, you know, or telling you rather, if you're, dear Gemini, who has certain spiritual beliefs that your beliefs are is based on pseudoscience, um, isn't real, that you're coming from a place of being a charlatan almost, and you're being called to basically say like, look, I honor your opinion, I get what you're saying, but I'm not here for it. Thank you very much. Or basically learn to walk away from an argument that's not going anywhere, because we also have the tendency to want to argue and debate and like have all different angles and have entire powerpoints and dissertations online, on Facebook, get into all these arguments about spirituality. We would take it there, we can take it there. I know for a fact that I have taken it there, and we are basically being told that regardless of what people think and well regardless of what people say, we cannot be caught up in any sort of argument that is going to take away our energy and take away our power in any way, shape, or form. So that the King of Air is basically saying, or at least that particular card is saying, don't get caught up. Don't just stand firm in your thoughts and what you believe. Um, just do not become don't be become so swayed with silly arguments pertaining to your abilities or pertaining to what you know, because by the end of the day, um, it's not worth your energy. It just brings down your vibrations. Like you end up cussing people out. It's not worth it by the end of the day. Okay, it's just not, because with all that energy that you are using arguing with someone who does not believe in what you do or believe in what you or not believe in what you say, that energy can go towards someone who does. That energy can go towards somebody that you are meant to help, and you are meant to teach. That energy can go to so many other things that are very affirming. So do not waste your time any longer, on things that's just going to basically deplete your energy. And so finally, we dear Gemini's got we this is like the third time this card has come up. I'm telling you right now, I am shuffling. I'm not joking. I am shuffling the cards for real. But this again, we got this card that actually is right side up. Um, and this is again the Four of Earth. Excuse me. We're actually with this card, we're basically being told to again we're being told to stand firm again, to hold on to our beliefs and to not let anyone. It's going to be very painful. We have to hold on to our beliefs, regardless of how painful it is, um, when it comes to people's words. Um, because what ends up happening was that, despite what people say to us, we are to stay grounded, and some of those words are going to hurt, and we're going to be asking ourselves why that is and what triggers us. Because we're very, a lot of us are teachers. A lot of us are teachers. A lot of Geminis, are teachers, um, leaders, and we have to stand firm because there's going to be people coming at us from all angles. And so I don't know if you can see this, but this person's arm is bleeding, their face is bleeding, as if they're cracked. Well, um, for this reading, we're going to be whipped, for lack of better terms, that people are going to, um, for at least, there's going to be a lot of antagonism around those who are choosing their path, their spiritual path to teach. There are going to be a lot of us, excuse me, that are going to be telling us to be quiet. There's going to be a lot of us who are going to attempt to disprove what we're saying. I remember watching a documentary not too long ago about, a magician who, um, spent nearly their entire career, in fact, still has a career on debunking psychics um, and mentalists. And so this particular person, I forgot his name, um, but he's basically like the modern day Harry Houdini. Harry Houdini did the same thing. He was also a magician who spent nearly his entire career debunking, um, psychics, debunking, you know, throughout the first part of the 20th century, debunking a lot of psychics to the point of taking it to the government and 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 basically telling government officials that, they are people are to crack down on us. You know what I mean? Or the government is cracked down on us. And so, there are folks. I mean, it's not like that now. There aren't any people like, banging on the doors and doing entire raids, um, to jail psychics, or anything like that, or people who are out here playing. But there are people who are going to persecute you in every way, shape, or form, especially if you're a spiritual teacher and you're somebody who has the gift of the clairs, and people who, are ghost hunters and believe in the paranormal, and who believe in the, supernatural, and those who practice, be aware, be very aware, that people are going to come at you sideways, Gemini, especially if you're a spiritual teacher. And so, and that goes for me as well. People have come at me sideways, and there are people who are going to continue to do so the more I elevate as an individual, and as a teacher. Um, and so, what you're being asked to do, you in fact, like, if you are starting out and you're starting out to, as far as like showing people what you're capable of as far as doing this work, be aware that there are going to be people who are going to come at you sideways, and their words are going to, basically go for the jugular. They're going to break the skin, and so that's what this what's happening here is that, um, like their skin is breaking, and so what's going to end up happening is that, we will have to learn, and we are being called to learn in the month of May to, basically grow a thicker skin, and to ask the spirit to help us grow that thicker skin and to not be swayed again by people who do not believe in us, because the more influence we accumulate, the more influence we gain, the more you're going to have, people debunking or attempting to debunk what we do, what you do, what you say, and just be aware of that. Just be aware. Just know in the month of May, you're being asked, Gemini, I'm being asked as a Gemini to basically um, to grow a thicker skin and not take things so personal, um, because we just don't have time for it. We don't have time for it in these trying times where the world is on fire and spiritual teachers are actually being called to stand up, um, and do the work necessary. That's why I myself am being called to study, and there's a lot of people who are being called to do this work, because in 2020 there are going to be a lot of students coming through. There's going to be a lot of people, wanting to have what you receive, or they already have it. They already have it, but they're definitely going to come to you to develop their abilities, or to rediscover their abilities, um, and we just don't have time to be um, putting ourselves in the position to have entire arguments, ideological arguments online with people who are not going to understand what we're doing. So, I mean, there's enough of that in the real world, but we're definitely being called, Gemini, to grow a thicker skin, and that's why um, even I am being called to basically. In fact, this is why shadow work is so important. Shadow work, doing shadow work constantly, is so important. This is the time for us to check our um, our insecurities around intellect, around the self, um, to check whatever childhood stuff that we have gone through, um, to release whatever is holding us back. We're being called to release anything and everything that will trigger us in some way, shape, or form. We are being told to let go of a lot of our past experiences. We're being told to let go of what no longer serves us, as far as addictions, and as far as a lot of just basically, we're being called to do like an overhaul, because the more we elevate, the more we're going to be running into people who remind us of what we went through when we were little, or when we were growing up. They're going to be reminding us of our experiences. They're going to say certain things that trigger something. We're literally being told, um, to basically check that and put that in check, to overcome that, and to use those experiences that we have overcome to teach the people that we are meant to serve. Yeah, we're being told, um, Geminis, especially those who are spiritual teachers. We're literally being told, that we're being pushed to let things go. We're being pushed to look at our past. We're being told to um, basically get rid of anything and everything that caused us trauma, to re-examine and examine our trauma, to go through with a fine-tooth comb if we need to, um, because when we start to go into the general public as teachers and mentors, and we become known in some way, shape, or form, you're going to run into people who remind you of the past in some way, shape, or form. So it's time to do that work necessary. So when somebody comes at you, you're not, you'll crack, but you won't break. You know, so that is all I have for Gemini for the month of May. If this resonated with you, this message resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, subscribe to the channel, like the video, post a comment, and if or you could just hit me up on or via email at bowtiepsychic@gmail.com. You can also listen to the Bowtie Psychic podcast on Anchor or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Thank you again so much for watching this video. And I will be right back with, or I'll be back tomorrow rather, with Cancer. Um, well, I'll be doing a reading for Cancer. So until next time, peace.